Hello there. My name is Natasha Malamainkarich. I was born and raised in the national capital city of Zambia, Lusaka, specifically George compound. I'm 23 years old, and for the last 20 years, I've caught a glimpse of how rapidly our economy has been going down, been pushed by a huge exchange rate and depreciation of the dollar going down. So why am I talking about this? While we're here talking about climate change, allow me to just get you through some other details that seem to be living our environment, yet we're not paying attention to it. Things like trees, insects, all these that play an imaginary role in our community. But before I go anywhere, allow me to just share a brief of my story of how I got involved with this climate fight. So almost every one of us have been to school today, and we've been taught about climate change, but whenever you ask any young people out there about climate change, the first thing that comes to mind you hear is that, yeah, it has something to do with weather, and that's all they know about it. Of course, they have defined it, have had there and so forth, listening about solutions and how we can combat them and what is involved in climate change. But the real thing is, all that ends up remaining in our exam room and papers, defining what grades and what levels you can go and all that. So I'm one kind of a person that was raised by my grandmother. So she would take us to the farm, though would cause the trouble and not do the actual work and so forth. But as time went by, we started falling in love with the activities that are done at the farm, hence bringing us knowledge and how we understand the value of trees and all that plays around us. So back in the day, it was where you would see, maize in the house, on top of our roofs and all that. But as time went by, we started seeing bread leaving our tables, having 2 meals in a day and all that. For some reason, we couldn't understand what really the reason was why we were losing all those things day and night. But as in 2019, when Zambia was going through what is now called the dark days of Zambia because of road shedding, we got to understand and hear our leaders speaking on the public news to say the reason why we had less rain is because of climate change, which came back to our tables to say, what is this climate change? I personally had a barbershop that I was operating in 2019. I was renting the barbershop. So when I was affected by that load shedding, it caused to the point of dropping everything, going back to zero, and it was the only thing that would sustain me to develop and move away from other vibes like drinking and involving in other issues as well. So when I lost that barbershop, for me, it got me thinking to say, if this climate change would take this much for me, how about people that really depends on the environment, people that farmers and all those that really need those little things to survive? How are they surviving with this condition? So not only me, but so many business went down. And it is because of that I took initiative and invested my time in researching and understanding the reason why we're going through this issue called climate change. And as time went by, I invested my time in terms of looking around social media, what are people talking about it, involved myself in workshops, knowledge and understanding what really climate change was. I said to myself, with this knowledge invested in me, what was I going to do about it? Definitely, I had to start making some changes in taking part and all that. So I invested my time in where I developed a movement which is called Eco Green Space, bringing together young people in understanding to say we need to do something because our future is in the hands of this climate change issue, where we're going to suffer and face a lot of difficulties as time went by. So this movement, we started like a small number. Yes, we're on a social media platform, and now we are growing, and the number keeps on growing. Just recently, we went to have an activity at a dump site because of understanding to say we've been very legacy to where waste management is concerned. So we conducted the research and we visited the dump site, and we're able to find people that have been there for 15 years, working there, recycling plastic, but do not know the reason why and the role they're playing in the environment. So we help them out with PPEs and continue sharing some information so that they get to understand the value of the environment and what exactly they do about the environment.